Hello everyone, so welcome back to the channel. So yesterday I went to MEPS in St. Louis. My family hasn't been feeling the very best and all that stuff, but I made it happen anyway. I went ahead and went and did it and got it over with. So what I had to do was I first of all took my ASVAB. It is super hard. So especially like the math portion, there's a lot of exponents and stuff like that, and like the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally type of stuff. So if you are worrying about, the difficulty of doing that and like just the ASVAB in general, make sure that you study like the reading comprehension and the math stuff are the biggest part of it. That really accumulates or is really responsible for most of your score. So make sure you study that stuff. Make sure when you get in there that you just don't give up and that you really pay attention to what you're reading. They give you a bunch of time for the reading comprehension and math stuff. So they also give you a blank sheet of paper and a pencil to write on and use as a worksheet kind of to work out problems and stuff like that. And so that's what I did. And I didn't really use much of it. I kind of just used my head for most of it and picked the most likely answer. And a lot of the exponents and stuff, listen, I did not know. I picked what I felt was right. And I busted my butt on the reading comprehension and on the mechanical knowledge portions and other portions of there were like these shapes that would have a dot on one side with an A, and then another shape would have a dot on one area with an A, and then a line would have like a B and an A, and then a little line would have like a C and a D, and then another shape would have a E, and there would be an F somewhere, another shape. And you have to put all this stuff together on one of these other options that you could pick which one would this look like if you put this all together like that. And it was really weird because it was all scrambled in the one spot, and then you had to figure out which one of them it would be. And you only really have to look at 2 or 3 of the letters to what they go to make sure it's the right one, because most of them are way off. So you could pick. I feel like I did really good on that. I was really worried about the math, but guess what? I got a 63. So I'm 33 years old. I haven't been in high school for forever. Let's see, it's been like 15 years since I graduated. It's nuts. The height and weight, I'm just over 5'11". Like, I thought I was 6 foot tall. Maybe I got shorter some type of way. And then my weight was 222, and then my waist, I passed everything. My waist was good, my height and weight were good, and obviously my ASVAB score killed it. 63 is definitely above average. So any of y'all who are worried about the ASVAB in particular, what you should do is, I'm telling you, like, as soon as I got to my recruiter's office yesterday morning, and she was going to bring me to MEPS, she was like, are you familiar? Have you studied exponents? I was like, look, it's been forever. And she kind of went over a few things with me, kind of refreshing my memory. And I didn't have a lot of time to think about that. If I'd have had a better grasp on exponents and stuff like that, and order of something, whatever, it's like the x plus 3 in parentheses minus y, whatever, that type of stuff. So, or like the easy stuff that I definitely got right was like y minus 15 equals 5. So obviously y was 10. That type of stuff is easy. That's like the easy as that type of stuff gets. And then it got into a lot more of the complicated stuff. So if you do your best to study on that, I think that you'll do a great job. I'm not the very best reader, but I made sure to follow the cursor as I was reading and make sure I got the best out of every paragraph, and then I answered the questions below. There were also, if you're doing Navy, you also have to take like a cyber test, like your knowledge about computers and how they work, and also a code reading test, which is like they have a bunch of words up at the top of the screen, and each one of those words is represented by a code right after it. And then they'll have the words below, and for each one, you have to click on the code that goes for each word. So you look at the word, look at the word up here, find the code, click on the code down here. Go down to the next word, look at the word up here, find the code, click on the code that belongs to this word here, and that's really simple stuff. And you keep doing that until that test runs out of time. And I think like I got like a 60 on that or something like that, which I was definitely satisfied with too. It was an experience, a much smaller environment than what I thought it would be. I thought it would be like super huge, but it was not. But it was still an experience, and I did enjoy it. And ready to see where this goes. So that right now they're sending off my waiver for a charge that I got with an ex-girlfriend when I kicked her out. This was years ago. She got really salty about it and tried to file charges on me and said I did stuff to her, like pushed her or something like that. I don't exactly remember the whole thing. But the prosecuting attorney dismissed it because, there wasn't evidence that the stuff that she said happened. And also she went to them and said, look, I was really under the influence of prescription medication and I have no recollection of what happened that evening. All she knows is that she got kicked out. And then I went to jail for breaking her glasses, which I didn't even do on purpose, but it is what it is now. So basically, even though it's been dismissed, they still need, they have to go through all this process for a waiver for that. I forget what the waiver is called. But anyways, I'm dealing with that. And then after this is done, I go on to the next portion of all this, which is basically I go in and physical. It's a 2-day thing. Stay at a hotel in St. Louis. And then after that, I don't finish the last portion, which is swearing in, sitting down with a Navy worker or a liaison person and picking a rate. From what I qualify for a lot, by the way. Picking a rate and ship off date and all that stuff. So each rate, when you sit down to pick it, will have a ship off date with that rate. So depends on what's more important to you, the ship off date or the rate. You might find a ship off date that's 9 months down the line, or you might find a ship off date that's 7 days away. And you just have to, okay, so do I want this rate because it ships, because I really want it, but it ships off like now? Or do I want this other rate, which I'm kind of interested in, but it ships off way later? You kind of have to make the decision if you're going in the Navy. Other places like the Army and stuff like that have MOSs, and you get to secure your military occupation specialty before shipping off or before going to MEPS, really. Your recruiter does all that for you. Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, not sure about all that, but you could always look into that. So definitely... the ASVAB is a formidable test. You definitely need to study. I did not study. I did a little bit of studying. I brushed up on some math and things like that. But I could have done a lot better if I would have. If I'd have been more aware of what the test actually had inside of it. What kind of math and stuff like that. I feel like I probably could have got an 80 if I would have, had a better idea. But I am happy with the score that I got. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope this helped you out, and I hope that you stuck around to this point. Please like and subscribe. I like that. I like that whenever people subscribe, it's not just like, oh, at some point one day I might get paid for this. It's more or less people like my content and find it helpful, and that makes me feel good. So anyways, thank y'all so much for stopping by. Jesus loves you, and I'll see you next time.